It is our last hour of a two-day stint here in New York City, and pleased to finish things up with one of our friends of the program since we've been on the air. We turned 5 in October, and Power turned 6, and it's the final season of Power, Sundays at 8 Eastern and Pacific on Stars. Welcome, Brooklyn's finest, Jerry Ferrara, to the program. Good to see you, buddy.
That felt good. Brooklyn's fine. I like that.
You are, man. I'm from Staten Island. I was born in Brooklyn.
That's right.
And then to date myself a little bit, the Verrazano Bridge got built. My parents are New York City public school educators, and there were many of the New York City employees who went across the bridge from Brooklyn to Staten Island.
Yeah, my mom's out in Staten Island now.
Is that right?
Yeah, she's out in Staten Island. My brother and I went to college I did a brief stint at CSI. Yes.
It's so funny. Everyone sees CSI, you seem to think it's crime scene investigation.
Right. No.
I grew up, it's the College of Staten Island.
That's right.
They should do a show about a crime scene.
CSI at CSI.
CSI.
That's when you know you've gone full meta right there, yeah?
That's right, where David Caruso just says, forget about it. Pretty much. All right, I'm done with that line. Good to see you, man.
It's good to be here.
Good to see you. Yanks. How fired up are you right now? What do you got? Because we just did Mets. I guess we're going to be fair and balanced right here. We just had Pete Alonso call.
No, I'm extremely fired up because it feels real, and it hasn't felt this real in a long time at this point. I mean, I don't want to. It's hard to get really upset with the Yankees because they've given me so much.
Yep.
But the last few years have been tough, and what I like about this year is, we've had some losing streaks. The way we bounced back from that disaster in Boston really showed me what this team was about.
When the Yankees went and they played that 4-game set in Boston that I think started in late July. Was that when it was?
Yeah.
Started in late July, and Tanaka gave up 15 home runs in the first inning.
Literally the first inning, yeah.
And they won like 19 million to 2. Mm-hmm. And a buddy of mine who I went to grade school with texts me, goes, is this the Boston Massacre in reverse? And I'm like, let's just pump the brakes
slow down
a little bit here. And just, it really is all about what's going to happen in October now. That's really, like, if the Dodgers, the Yankees, the Astros, and a little bit of the Braves, if they could snap their fingers and start October right now, which would be
right
now.
This would be a perfect time. I mean, obviously, I start to get worried because everything in the playoffs obviously shrinks, and you're seeing a number 1 or 2 starter every 2 games. It feels like or
every day.
Or every day, essentially.
Are you one of those Yankees fans that are genuinely concerned that this all goes down the tubes in Houston?
No, I'm not, because, like I said, it feels a little more real this year. I think every time that the backs have been sort of against the wall, because we've been such a front-running team this year, they've always pushed back. And so I feel like if we, matched up with Houston again, I think we'll punch back and be okay.
It would be helpful if the 7th game would take place. If it does, it takes place in the Bronx as opposed to Houston.
That would be great.
Right now, the Yanks have only a half-game lead over the Astros. They had a bigger lead, but the sweep in Oakland really hurt them. And the A's are coming into town later on this weekend in the Bronx. And then again, just Houston has got such great pitching, man.
I know.
They have great pitching, and those right-handers that the Yankees usually have issues with in the playoffs, that's the guys that they put on the mound pretty much.
I also don't enjoy, although you would think I would enjoy, for some reason on social media, I get a lot of like, this dude looks like Jose Altuve comparisons. I think it's maybe the height situation too. And look, I love Altuve. He's a fantastic player. I'm honored. But if you lose to the Astros and then you see that, it hurts a little more. It's a little more of a dig than an honoring.
Can I make you feel better?
Sure.
Okay. At least your running style isn't compared to Darren Ravel's on Twitter. I get that like every day where he's running like he's a box of straws that just dropped on the ground, and they think that I run like that, or people are like, hey, let's see them in a race. I would rather be, there you go, right there. We put it up there from our Los Angeles.
I'm honored. It's a handsome man. I'm honored.
I would rather be compared to Jose Altuve.
Yeah, no, it just hurts when, if the Yanks drop one to the Astros and then you see that, it's like, ugh. Because imagine if that guy was on the Yankees, this would be the best comparison that ever happened to me.
I bet.
This would be the best thing that ever happened to me.
Usually back when we were younger, you just wait 3 years and they'll join.
Right, exactly. We'll get him at some point. He's coming.
I know. That's what, I wouldn't say that to Pete Alonso. He seems like such a sweet guy and everything's working so well for the Mets. Just wait till the Wilpons don't pay him. We'll see him in pinstripes. You know what I mean? Is that wrong? Was that wrong to say just after hanging up from sweet Pete Alonso just like that?
No.
Thanks to the Mets for having him call into the show. Certainly when he's just tearing the cover off the ball as well. Jerry Ferrara here on the Rich Eisen Show. Are you ready to go to the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio, and see Daniel Jones in there after his first 3 preseason games? Jerry, do you want to go and visit his bust?
I booked my plane tickets for 18 years from now. I'm going to take my son because he'll be 18.
Okay, very good.
And we'll go to the pro. We'll be at his induction, at his speech, and we'll be crying.
No, he's already been
he's in
inducted.
already?
I don't know if you missed it because, again,
okay.
you just mentioned you have a newborn. Things, your sleep
missed
patterns
stuff.
may be off a little bit. Yeah, he's already in the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Look, there's nothing better than overreacting or underreacting to preseason because
Yes.
you can go either way. I defended the pick as best I could because I do agree with some that the pick came in a really interesting place. But I am just hopefully optimistic because again, the Giants have also given me a lot. Not as much as the Yankees.
Right.
I'm still riding off of 07 and 11, but it's been a minute. It's time to get back to at least some playoff football in New York.
But
we need it.
You're talking about the 2 years that I believe has earned Eli the right to start this season and see how the season goes. Unless it's a total, complete, unmitigated 0-4, 0-5 disaster, which we have unfortunately seen develop recently for the Giants. He's going to start. There's no way you take Daniel Jones out of the box and throw him out there week 1 in Dallas, no matter how great he's looked in the preseason, no matter how great he might be looking in training camp and in practices as well right now. This is Eli's gig right now to take as far as he can. Would you agree with that?
I do agree. And look, that's a blueprint that I don't want to happen, meaning like I don't want them to go 0-5 and all that. I do think Eli deserves one more shot. We got a great running back. Hopefully the offensive line sort of figures it out. I'm a little concerned about the wide receiver depth that's been going on with the injuries and stuff like that. But look, if they are 0-5, you could start to slowly, inject Daniel Jones into the lineup.
I think so,
I don't
too.
think you're going to miss out on
But
anything.
I don't think they're going to be 0-5.
I don't either. Look, I don't want to be the hopelessly optimistic fan, but I got good feelings about the team. I'm looking for everything to get simplified, run the ball, hopefully get some opportunistic plays out of Eli, and hopefully get some time. I just want to see him with a little more time. I get that the arm strength was a little up and down last year. I want to see him with more than a second and a half to throw.
There's no question Daniel Jones has better arm strength. I mean, let's be honest. One guy's pushing 40. One guy just came off the campus of a college. So but neck up, knowing the defenses before they maybe appear in front of you, seeing what the defenses are doing before you snap the ball, knowing where the receivers need to be, knowing where the defense might shift based on where you're sending your receivers. That's Eli head and shoulders. I mean, you can't even I know how smart guys from Duke might be, but that's all that needs to be played out. And last night at the NFL 100 event that I'm in town for, Brockman and I saw, along with Mike last night, Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
I mean,
My guy.
He is, I mean, we just heard how great Pete Alonso is, sweet guys, dream come true. Saquon Barkley is too good to be true. And he said to me last night that he's been a little bit upset of the lack of snaps that he's gotten in preseason.
That's a good sign.
Because he can't wait. Like he wants to go, and this is a
caged lion ready to get out. I love it.
This is one of those bucking horses in the stall, getting ready to go win a triple crown right now. I think it doesn't matter 7, 8 man fronts. I think he's going to be spectacular, and people are thinking, well, Giants, let's count him out. I really am looking for. I'm not just saying it because you're sitting here.
No, and look, if Eli's shown us anything, and maybe this is the hopelessly optimistic fan, is he is probably at his best when he is counted out. Now he has been counted out for a year or two, and we're waiting for the best to come back. But this is it, and you really do want to try to win as many games while you have Saquon just chomping at the bit to get out there and run everybody over. So. I'm excited. I mean, there's been a void in my life. I couldn't figure out what it was. I'm walking around like, why do I feel like something's missing? And it's just, okay, we're at the part of summer where we need football
and it's here.
And basketball to come back.
It's
so
here.
We're here.
Well, speaking of which, Jerry Ferrara here on the Rich Eisen Show. You have a 4-month-old boy, right?
I do.
Zion Ferrara? Is that his name?
By the way, this is going to sound like a joke, but it's not. I lobbied extremely hard.
Yes.
And it was maybe about 3 or 4 nights before the draft. And I'm like, we could still, because he was born before, I'm like, we could still switch this, and my wife wasn't having it. But I really would have did. If the Knicks would have drafted Zion, I would have thought it was a great move.
Zion Ferrara?
Yes.
Okay.
Don't you want to, like, wouldn't that cat, like, oh, Zion, why? He's named after the Zion? Yes.
So is he RJ Ferrara? Is that what he is? Or what is he? What's his name?
We got to wait and see with RJ before we start naming babies. No, I love RJ Barrett. I am very high on RJ.
So
Kristaps Ferrara.
Kristaps Ferrara.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Okay, we're gonna do that now. We're gonna do that. I thought this was friendly atmosphere.
No.
That's my bad.
We're gonna do that.
No.
Okay.
Hey, look, the Celtics fan over there isn't too happy anyway. So
that hurt.
All right, I'm gonna give you the floor, man. What do you think here? What do you think? Because the Nets have now. Let's be honest. The Nets have now taken the buzz. The buzz is now in Brooklyn. There's no two ways about that in this town.
Which is weird. So I've actually had people ask me,
it's weird.
So are you a Nets fan now? I'm like, that's not how sports works, okay? Mm-hmm. You don't watch a team for most of your life, and then a new team comes along, and they have some better talent, and then you go, oh, I'm going to go over here. To me, that's not how sports
works. People really
work.
ask you that?
I've been asked. Well, I guess maybe because I'm from Brooklyn as well.
Oh, I see.
So
because nobody's asking Laker fans right now, hey, you're going to become, well, obviously they have got LeBron and they have Anthony Davis. And, and I don't want to bring up, I mean, I don't bring up Anthony Davis to you too, but but I think that's ludicrous. You're not giving up the Knicks. You're not going to give up on the Knicks, are you?
No, never. But, you know, it did make me think of an interesting question. So if I was growing up in Brooklyn when the Dodgers were there, I would have probably loved the Dodgers.
Of course.
Then they moved to LA. What do you do? Like, I think that's a much more interesting question than, like, are you going to like the team that's now good? What happens if your team that you love moves away? Do you stick with that team, or do you follow the new team that comes in?
Well, the thing that you're kind of lucky about, obviously having a healthy kid and having a kid makes you lucky on the spot.
Yes.
And what is his real name?
Jacob.
Okay.
Jacob.
Okay.
Yes.
So is that you're lucky that Jacob is not like 6, 7, 8. Daddy, take me to go see Durant and Kyrie.
Oh, that was
because now you're
punished. You're punished. For what? Because of what you just said.
Go back to sleep. Go to sleep with no dinner.
You're not. Yes. No, give me your phone.
Because that's going to be a lot of the issues here in town. Unless, look, I'm sitting here saying Jacoby Brissett is going to still potentially take the Colts to win. I think they still win the division in Indianapolis. We have no idea what Barrett's going to look like, or any of these other kids that were balling out.
We're so young.
In the summer league. And I love the coach. I love the coach. That's
the thing. So for me, the thing I am okay with about being a Knicks fan now is, and I've said this, it's been over a year now, I finally feel as though we are all in on the plan, whereas it used to be, we're going to try to rebuild but still compete. Mm-hmm. And you often wondered, like, are we going to, like, okay, we got Derrick Rose and Noah. Like, are we rebuilding or are we competing? And how do you do both of those at the same time? It doesn't really seem like something you could do. This is the first time at the Knicks where it's like we're investing in young talent. We are not giving away future assets, young assets for maybe some veteran guys who could maybe help more now. We're just investing on the youth, and
you got to do it. You got to do it the way the Clippers did it.
Exactly.
Which is draft smart, get a bunch of these players. Maybe if you do get somebody that, like a Lou Williams, that can drop in your lap, you do hold on to him, and then when it's time for Giannis to survey the scene in 2 years, you got a ready-made team where he's like, okay, I can go there and win, as opposed to this time around where you're just hoping Durant just decides New York's my home, or New York's the place that I want to go, and Kyrie's going to come join me because he grew up in New Jersey.
Right.
That's got it. Now this has got to hurt you. This particular has got to hurt you, because I brought this up as well.
Okay, I'm ready for it.
Kyrie saying he grew up a Net fan. Like, I know that there's a picture of him rooting for the Nets when Byron Scott was the coach, and they got wiped off the planet.
Kerry Kittle, Jason Kidd years.
You know what I mean? Like, that one
would have been nice to know that when we were getting pitched that he was coming to the Knicks. It would have been nice to know that Kyrie Irving loved going out to watch to watch Kenyon Martin and the New Jersey
he
Nets.
Loved Kyrie, all those great memories growing up in
Heath
Brendan
Van
Byrne
Horn.
Arena. Like I never really heard that one before, but there he is, standing on the Brooklyn Bridge talking about how this is kismet. I was sitting there like shaking my head. I'm like, come on.
Would've been
that was
nice
a tough
to know.
one. But no, there's like a photograph of him, I guess, in a Nets jersey.
But
New
that was
Jersey
after
Nets
he signed
jersey?
or before he signed?
No, when he was a
coming out.
kid. Like they unearthed
No, but
one.
did they? But when?
No,
did it come
this all
out?
came out in his video standing on the Brooklyn
Oh.
Bridge saying, hey, here I come, Brooklyn.
It would have been nice if he would have dropped that image a little earlier. But I do think you can take something from the Brooklyn model of free agency, which is these elite players. They don't want to just come to a team for it to be their team. You got to have some players to surround them, and the Nets did. I mean, I'm sure LeVert didn't hurt. Dinwiddie didn't hurt. The coach didn't hurt. So there's been good and young infrastructure there. So that's what I think the Knicks are on to now.
Okay, and let's move to power before I let you go. Season 6, this thing is winding down, and it's been, like we just talked about it before, but the radio audience is here, a heck of a run for you on this show. What has this been for you, bud?
It really actually got summed up for me a week ago. We had the premiere for season 6, and this goes nicely with our previous conversation on the Knicks. The premiere for season 6 was at Madison Square Garden.
That's great.
And my man 50 Cent put on a great concert before they showed the first episode. There was 13,000 people. So watching it in that environment, it almost felt like you're at a sporting event. Characters were coming on screen, and the crowd was getting up and cheering. Characters were coming on screen, and the crowd was booing. It's like we're at a sports event here. So I am extremely lucky. Power has been an unbelievable follow-up for me to Entourage. It's been maybe my best role ever. It's been some of the best writing I've ever had to work with. And it's bittersweet because I'm excited to see what's next, but I'm very, very sad to kind of see it go,
Well, you got your pod that you're doing too, right? Bad for Business.
Still doing the pod.
Your wife is producing it?
Yeah. I mean, we've slowed down in the last couple of months with the kid and all.
The producing of Jacob?
Yeah, we produced the Untitled Bree and Jerry project, which was our son.
Right.
So we figured out his name. But yeah, man, life is good.
That is great. Check out Power on Sunday nights, and you're welcome anytime, man. It's really good to see you.
I love New York Rich.
I love LA Jerry whenever you're out there, man.
I'll be back.
Just let me know, when you drop into town. I'd love to have you there. And good luck to your G-men and to the Pinstripers.
It's going to be interesting.
It could be an interesting September and October.
Let's hope.
That is for sure.
For more of The Rich Eisen Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV for free on BR Live or download the Rich Eisen Show app.